What's going on YouTube? Ichi here. We're back with another episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Trilogy. And last time we wrapped up the trial with Jake Marshall. We put him on the stand. He wasn't guilty, so like the incident in the police station was a fake murder where Jake just he ended up cutting Officer Meekin's hand. Sir, yes sir, sir. He ended up cutting his hand and like had a little scuffle with him, but it was a fake murder. But we found traces of blood that had to have like another murder had to occur there prior to Jake Marshall going there. We found out more about Jake and the past case he worked on with everyone else, and he had a brother, Neil Marshall, and he was supposed to kill by Joe Drake, the serial killer. But Marshall was saying that wasn't likely because his brother was very competent in the fight. So, and supposedly the lead investigator of the case was Diamond Gant. And so, you know, we obviously think this is corrupt, and you know, so eyes are leading toward Diamond Gant right now. Like fingers are pointing at him right now for being a co-conspirator in this farce. It's like I don't know why they because Goodman is really dead, so it's like I don't know why they killed him, or what, you know, why they set it up to make it look like Lana killed Goodman. I still don't know why they did that yet. Like, you know, I'm trying to figure that out. Because obviously, like Diamond Gant, he set this up, and then he had all these little puppets, Angel Star, Jake Marshall, and Lana Skite. He's trying to frame Lana. I guess Goodman and Lana didn't, you know, go along with him, so he figured he had to take them out somehow. But that's pretty much what happened last time. And Lana was like, Jake was like, "Oh, can you look me in the eye and tell me you didn't forward any evidence?" And she's like, "I don't have to." And then, like, you know, the court was just going crazy because it's like, yo, you forging evidence now? It's like, you know, it's crazy. I think this is where we left off. Trial ladder. No, this one. Investigation day 3, because the date 23rd. Yeah, it should be day 3. Investigation. It's one of those episodes, huh? Let's get to it. February 24th, 3:12 p.m. Wright and Colo offices.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said.
Yeah, she upset the court. Drastic crimes requires drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
I didn't know. I never knew that the SO9 incident was just another name for the Joe Drake killings.
Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Oh, fuck, I skipped the line. Damn it.
Lana wanted Drake convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean, what happened to you?
It's all in there in the file. You didn't read it? Joe Drake's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
What did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
On the night of the Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Drake tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you?
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, he was only trying to save me.
Oh, so he took the hit for her. So that means you...
Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Drake's trial.
I didn't see that one coming. Alright, let's press her some more before we move on.
It happened 2 years ago. It was right after about the time. It was right about this time of year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office when we were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office.
Joe Drake.
It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake's Marshall's brother.
Joe Drake tried to take me hostage. But before he could, Marshall tackled him. It was an arcade night out of nowhere.
Arcade night out of nowhere! Watch out, watch out, watch out!
Then...
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office in an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture into my mind. I can still see it now.
Permanent picture? What did you see in the instant that crime occurred?
Well, Drake knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of her. This poor girl.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma. Been through the ringer.
I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable.
Oh, once I knew it was over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any.
I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that's bothering me about this crime.
I don't remember the moment when Drake stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly they could taste it. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth?
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known. He was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, knew this would happen.
So it's true, even though he may not have known, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today.
She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma.
Oh, what is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor.
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Drake had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office.
Well, why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective's office and the questioning room are right across from the elevator.
Across from the elevator. But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
After the Joe Drake case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
Lana used to be a detective. I better have another talk with her. Alright, here we go. She should be in a detention center still. February 24th, detention center, visitor's room.
Lana!
Mr. Wright, it seems I kept causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we?
But Lana!
Ooh, that came out wrong.
But Lana!
Try that again.
But Lana, you're wrong. An innocent person might be found guilty.
Believe me, I understand the risk. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh. About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SN9 incident was your reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on Can you fill me in on the details? Especially about that unusual change of jobs. I suppose you have the right to know, Mr. Wright. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessed Officer Marshall can be.
That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you always stick to the truth.
It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department.
You tell me it's not true, Lana, what the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with the knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
That's because Grant got a hold of her. Got some leverage over her. Emma, this doesn't just involve me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago.
She was amazing.
Yeah, Grant.
They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Grant cracked together.
Chief Gant. I call him Grant. I don't know why I like Grant better than Gant. He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Diamond Gant. He was everything I aspired to be.
They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filled.
Emma really idolized her big sister. But now you're chief of prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was
to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you can use that experience in court, right?
Gant's help in the SN9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of their 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Drake. Second in command. That means the investigation lead was Diamond Gant, right? Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I share the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. And that's why the dude ran up in there. But Gant's a big dude. Like he not taking Gant in a fight. Like he is a big fucking dude, yo. Look at those fucking shoulders, yo. Like one punch could probably break your fucking skull. We led a team of I'm gonna try that again. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was Jake Marshall and Angel Star. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite a gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Drake was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Drake.
You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Diamond Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Drake that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Drake must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let the guards down and fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself.
That's where he found me.
So you were the first person to run to the crime scene, Lana.
It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Drake.
Oh, who stabbed him in the back?
When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies?
Prosecutor Marshall's, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Drake. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck the final blow before he died. Joe Drake had incurred a minor
concussion. I said that word, it just tripped and fumbled down a hill out of my mouth.
Joe Drake had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious.
What did you do?
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her.
I can't blame her after all. Her sister must have been going through. For what she had gone through.
After that, I placed Drake under immediate arrest.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the S9 incident.
That's right.
Quite a coincidence, huh? I don't buy it. This sounds mad fishy.
Oh, what are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance? No way.
But that case was solved 2 years ago.
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Exactly.
Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as quite a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely.
Emma, Lana, you so full of shit, man. It's obviously Diamond, whatever his name is, Chief Prosecutor Grant, he has a fucking whole leverage over her. Obviously.
I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Drake. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories.
That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Drake at the police department, right?
Yes, in my office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The chief's office.
Maybe we shouldn't have a look at the chief's office. My bad. I'm kind of out of it today. I don't know why during this recording. I'm trying, to get through this, but I don't know. I just have low energy. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. Alright. Moving on up to the east side of the police chief's prosecutor's office. February 24th, police station, criminal affairs department. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere.
Things seem kind of quiet around here today.
You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same, though.
Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to?
Right. We can come back here later. Alright, here we go. February 24th, police department, entrance, Marshall. Howdy, Bambina.
Officer Marshall.
I never thought things turned out the way when I woke up this morning. Que sieta. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Billy?
Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner.
But Officer Marshall. Why'd you do it?
Why do prosecutors head west? Good. If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All detectives thought so. What do you mean, fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Drake's. Alright. That was Joe Drake's, alright. But in an initial autopsy report, a question was raised.
A question?
The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there's a good chance the knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, the possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with the forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the S9 is still left behind?
There was something going on behind the scenes. In that case, we all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Yeah, everybody got demoted, but Lana got promoted, right? So Chief Gant could keep an eye on her. Miss Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him, too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They?
Who are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Diamond Gant and Lana Skype. The investigation lead, Diamond Gant, and his second in command, Lana Skype. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Diamond Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She'd never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her says so. Chief Prosecutor Skype was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma says something like that too. Yeah, cause like I keep saying, Diamond Damon, he had a fucking leverage on her somehow. He was, I guess, blackmail, you know.
Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together.
How old was he? I mean, your brother.
He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the king of prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. I broke character a little bit. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother.
The day that my incident took place, that was the same day as...
That's right. It was the very day of the evidence transfer. Interesting. It was a drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years ago have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Gooden was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. Good. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Diamond Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Good. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Yeehaw! February 24th, prosecutor's office, underground parking lot. No one's here today, not even Miss Starr.
Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are.
It'll be proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m.
Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case.
But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty.
Hang in there, Lana.
I gotta find all the answers by tomorrow. February 24th, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202, or 1202, whatever you want to say.
Miss Edgeworth isn't here.
Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee. He took a real beating in court today.
Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago.
I guess we'll just have to come out later. Alright. February 24th, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted.
That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
Oh,
if you're looking for the others, they're all in the other...
Try that again.
If you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room.
Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us.
With the chief prosecutor saying what she said in a decision about what we had to do.
Yeah, I don't know. My voice is not fully awake yet.
Yeah, with the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together.
I think festive is the word usually used for those.
Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office.
Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator up to the top floor.
Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't a police officer or anything.
Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits.
Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief. Let's head to the chief's office.
Oh man, what? You got an organ? Yeah, he's definitely evil. They got a big ass organ inside a police station. Like, what the hell? Yeah, he's definitely evil. February 24th, Police Department, Chief's Office. Is he here? Whoa, where am I?
In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what he said on the door.
Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it?
Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bach.
Bach.
I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. I never could remember where the C was.
Oh? Here he goes. Oh, it's you two. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put the paper he was reading in his desk. Yeah. Oh, Righto, how have you been? Been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. Oh, I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Mr. Marshall's misconduct. And Lana's excuse me. And with Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the fourth evidence? 2 years ago. Excuse me. 2 years ago have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that picture? Man, I am really fucking up, man. Damn. See that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it. Gant team picture add to the court record. Anyway, I like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together.
But this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case was long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Yeah, okay. Oh, now, hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Run along, kiddies.
Looks like we aren't welcome.
It seems that case isn't over with yet, after all.
What do you mean?
Chief Gant denied a request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there.
You mean like a clue?
There's gotta be a way we can get inside our office. February 24th, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department.
Oh, hey,
Oh man. Oh man. It's cause I did Chief Gant's voice, and his voice is mad deep, so like it fucked up it basically switched my voice, and then going to Gumshoe was like, damn, my voice isn't used to that yet. Oh man.
Hey, pal. Hey, pal.
Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting?
I'm just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sitting so long?
Actually, from serving anyone a coffee.
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop.
Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth?
Mr. Edgeworth? No. Why? Why do you ask?
He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like battles between you two in court.
That sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said?
Well, that's basically what it's all boiled down to. The falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
Yikes.
Let's talk to Gumshoe. But why would he be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skyke is a guilty party here, isn't she?
Yeah.
Regardless of the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there's been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor kept him safe from those who didn't like him. But now with this,
Are there really so many people who hate him?
in our world, only those with talent rise to the top. And Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young and handsome. There's no better recipe I know of to make enemies.
Hey, Dick, keep up the good work.
Oh, yes, sir.
Hey, let's go out for lunch sometime. Again, my treat, buddy.
Oh, okay, pal. You got it. Yes, sir.
You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick?
Yes, sir.
It seems you don't have any problems with enemies.
Yeah, well, I'm grateful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth not just might crack. Actually, I might take a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing.
Seems generally concerned for Edgeworth. Well, what did you find out?
The only evidence Mr. Drake left behind was during his final attack.
His final attack, you mean?
When he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl.
Me.
Yeah.
Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl.
That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well, what was it?
Oh, let's see. I think it has something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, hey, I forgot. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay?
His part of the recollection never failed to impress.
Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory.
Hang on.
Joe Drake was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman.
A businessman? What made him take serial killing?
One day, on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
With his car? So, it was an accident.
An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal.
An animal?
He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by, and so he killed him too. Then the bodies just kept stacking up. The jogger came upon the scene, and he killed him as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
Seems he was a pretty careless animal.
Of course, this was all just conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence.
So he turned himself in.
Yes, but in the middle of all this, questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. And that crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Drake was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed.
That last witness.
AKA.
Oh, my bad. AKA Emma. Alright. Show him the knife. About this.
Oh hey, is that?
It has a tag attached to it with the label SM9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of.
What are you doing with that, buddy? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in the locker.
On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. And was found in Mr. Edwards' car muffler.
Oh, that's it. Oh, now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me the knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what was it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again.
This knife? It was Joe Drake's, wasn't it?
That's right. That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it. I'm gonna try that again. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it at the murder to anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well anyway, take a guess where the broken knife... Oh.
Oh man, I'm out of energy. This shit is rough.